Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to film an in-depth tutorial on how I do my highlight. I figured it was easier to do it this way just so I can explain it step by step. So I really hope that you find it easy to follow and that you enjoy watching, and I'll see you all in my next one. So I wanted to start from this point here because basically I've found that the best way to do highlight is to put it on before you put any powders on your face. I think this is because I feel like it stops it from going cakey or getting like, you know when you put like too much product on top of product, it goes like, you end up like with a line or it just looks like unattractive. So after many ways of putting on my highlighter, I found that this works the best for me. So basically on my face currently I have all my foundation, obviously my eyebrows and my concealer. So my skin is essentially still like wet. And also what I will then do is, I will spray my beauty blender with a makeup setting spray so that my beauty blender is wet and it's still got the foundation on it, because this helps to kind of blend in the highlighter. So I'm just going to go over my cheekbones with my wet blender just to make sure that it is definitely all still moist. That word, I can't deal with it. Anyway, yeah, so then I'm going to go in with my Topshop Glow Pot. This is the reason why my Becca Cosmetic highlight looks so amazing. I mean, obviously Champagne Pop is insane, but I feel like on its own you don't get that real kind of like pop of highlight. So you put this one on first. So I get a little brush, this one is from Spectrum Collections, and I put a little bit on the end, and then I actually sort of like put it on my hand just to kind of get rid of too much product, just to kind of dab it out, and I'll go back into that, and basically I just draw a very rough sort of line down the side of my cheek. Now I put it in a diagonal line to sort of the middle of my cheek, so you almost want to smile and go to like the middle of your like apple of your cheek. I feel that that's best, and that's really where you want your highlight to be. So I leave it like that, and then I get my finger and I just quickly kind of tap to blend it in. And now you can see if you were doing this over powder, you would end up with it sort of, well, you wouldn't be able to blend it in basically. And so because your foundation is wet and you're using a cream product, it kind of all blends really nicely into each other. So you just keep doing that until it's blended in and you don't have any like harsh lines or anything like that. And then I just grab a little bit more product off my hand and do the same thing again. I basically just build it up because I don't want to go in too much, because it's obviously, as they always say, it's easier to add than to take away. So just do it bit by bit. So as you can see, that gives a really nice sort of like highlight to your cheekbone, but I obviously want it to be like really popping. So I then use my Champagne Pop by Becca Cosmetics, and I'm using a fan brush. I can't remember, I think I got this one when I was in Miami. I think it's Shiramura, this brush, but I'm not sure. I will link it below anyway, I'll find it online. And I'm just gonna dust my brush in the product, tap it off on the edge of my mirror so there's no like excess product, and just sort of like lightly dust it over where the, what's it called, glow pot is, like so. So as you can see, it immediately kind of like brings out this amazing highlight. And like with the other one, just keep adding, just keep going back into your pot, tapping it off each time until you've got enough highlight. Now I don't like to kind of sweep like this because I feel like that builds up too much product, and that's when you end up with that kind of like line on your face. So I feel like if you just sort of dab your brush in little sort of like strokey motions, then you get a better sort of look to it. And then the step that I do after I've done that, so that is basically my highlight on my cheekbone, and then what I like to do is grab my beauty blender again, which is still damp, and just kind of go over the top bit, so just under the eye where you sort of don't really want the highlight, and it just helps to sort of blend the product in, and you don't end up with any harsh lines, and you don't end up with it where you don't want it to be. So I'm just going around sort of like this area here, so from like this kind of like inner V, I suppose you could call it, like so, just to make sure that it is exactly where you want it to be. So as you can see, like there's no sort of like dodgy line, it kind of all blends in quite nicely. And then the last thing that I would do is a new product that actually was sent recently by a PR. Never really heard of the brand before, but it's called Sarah Hill, I think. And it's a pigment. It's metallic, so it's their metallic pigment, and this one is Moon Dust. It's insane. Like if I'm going out and I want like a serious highlight, this is, oh my god, it's just amazing. So basically I will use a different brush for this, and for this I use my Spectrum Collections one, but it's slightly thicker on the end, and I'm just going to take up a little bit of the product on it, again tapping it off each time so that I don't end up with too much product. And I'm going to pop this right on the like middle, well not middle, probably end section of the highlight to really make it pop. And just keep adding until you are happy with the amount of highlight. So there we go. So that is this side of my face done. I will now do the other side, finish off my makeup, and then show you what it looks like overall. The only other places that I do are my brow bone. So I just do the same thing. I put a bit of Glow Pot on first, and then I will put a bit of my Champagne Pop on top of that. So there's that done, and then the other base that I highlight is the tip of my nose. Like so. And then what you can then do is powder your face and put your bronzer on after your powder. So basically I feel like then when you put the bronzer on, it kind of blends everything in together and you don't end up with any lines. So fingers crossed if you guys try this way, it'll work for you. So I'll just finish off the rest and show you what it looks like. So there we go guys, I finished off the rest of my makeup. So as you can see, I've put on my bronzer, my eyes and all that jazz. And yeah, so this is what the highlight looks like after you've literally popped on all the rest of your makeup. Yeah, so it's really easy, and as I say, I really hope that if you have been having the whole sort of like cakey highlight problem, that this sorts it out for you, because I know it took me ages to kind of get a like formula to it that would make it look a little bit less like heavy. So yes, I really hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you have found the video useful, give it a thumbs up, and yeah, leave me any comments below if you've got any questions about it or anything else that maybe I haven't covered. But I will see you all in my next one. Bye.